is more about others than it is yourself. What buys long-lasting purpose is you understanding selflessness and it being about something bigger than yourself. And tonight, I submit to you that there's some family that drove from I don't know where, parked 5 miles away from this stadium, and they saved all freaking year long just to buy a ticket to climb to the top of that stadium and watch your tail play. You owe them something. Right now. The rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives.
In-laws and out of bounds. We're back. College football's back, baby. What is going on, everybody? We are excited to be in here. Welcome to another episode and welcome to another college football season. Look at you. You're ready to run through a wall, Emilio, aren't you? Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. That's the excitement that we need. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. That's awesome. Heck yeah. What's up, man?
The whole time.
You should. I think you should. That is awesome. If you can't see, if you're listening, Emilio had a football helmet on during that intro. We hope you like our new intro, by the way. We got pumped up when we saw it the other day. We got the goosebumps and everything, and we are back in college football, folks. Thank you for joining us again. We've got a jam-packed show that we are excited for today. We're going to jump in talking about college football players, NFL football players trying to come back or actually getting the chance to come back to the college ranks. We're going to talk about week 0 picks and predictions. Folks, we've got 2 new segments that we're going to be going through the whole season. We've got one with our tried and true sponsor, Brewster Bird Hunts, the best damn birds, guides, and dogs, not only in South Texas, in all of Texas. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram, www.brewsterbirdhunts.com. We appreciate them. We're going to go Brewster Bird Hunts on the hunt. Who are we hunting? Why? Upsets of the week, maybe. Emilio says he's got some up his sleeve. And then we've got our new sponsor, Sendero Research. Hey, you want a clearer path to health? Sendero Research is there for you. They got all the gear that you can need, baby. Make sure you go check them out. If you want to get a hold of them, call me for now, and I'll get you. I will get that sorted out, but don't worry. Sendero Research Report. We got the locks of the week with them. We're going to be giving you our locks to go. And if you want to call your bookie, you call your bookie, but don't call us if something happens. So, if you got a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLING, call them and don't bet your mortgage away or anything. Right, Emilio?
Right. Just simply put, 8-leg parlays, maybe some WNBA, some baseball, some college football. Go ahead and mix it up.
And just mix it up. Kalshi, we're not sponsored by them, but if they want to sponsor us, it's a pretty good place to go do it and make smaller bets that you can get your feet wet on. So not only that, week 0, we'll get the segments in. We'll make the picks and prediction. We got Coach Miller joining us in about 10 minutes. We're going to talk about some Uvalde Coyote football. We did our local spotlights here earlier, and Coach Miller was our first guest. So we're going to see how the progression has gone, from when we talked to them a couple weeks ago to them playing this Friday night against the Carrizo Spring Wildcats. So fired up there. We'll talk a little bit about the other teams that we've done our local spotlight with Hondo and Coach Templin out there and Coach Steitler over in Sabinal. We'll look at Coach Navarro and Knippa Rock Crushers. We did a podcast and we did a recording with Travis Crowley down in Robstown. It was great to reach out to the Coastal Bend, but the audio was terrible. It was unfortunate. So we wanted to put it out. We'll get him back on at a different point, and we've got Coach Yeager out in Brackettville we'll do too. So those will continue. But anyways, Emilio, what's up, man? I've been talking for 4 minutes. Tell me something.
I am rocking and rearing to go. It's taken everything in me to not put that football helmet back on because part of me wants to wear it the whole episode, but the other part is I'm going to be honest with you. All the pads are out of that helmet because it's a size large, and I've got an extra large head, so it's pretty painful.
Yep. Hurts a little bit.
That just goes to show how much excitement I have for this season.
His head's grown that much, folks. That's what it is. And if you haven't seen, it hasn't?
You won't believe the links I went to get this helmet.
All right. Where is that a Lakey helmet, by the way?
I do believe it is a retired Lakey helmet.
That is
It's not mine. I didn't take it. I just
so
borrowed
you just borrowed it. So it's safe to say that that would not pass code to play in a game today.
it. In fact, it says the word reject on the inside of it.
Oh wow, okay. I thought that was just the Lakey slogan.
All right, asshole.
Oh man, I'm sorry. All right, guys. Hey, if you haven't seen it, if you can see us on video, we got some new merch too. Go check it out. Check out the new caps that we got going in here. Hey, we still got the old ones that are fire as well. We got some different styles of those. If you want something, hit us up. Maybe we'll just get some swag out there. Maybe we'll make you pay for it. We haven't decided yet. So Emilio doesn't even have his yet. So
Yeah.
nobody getting it first.
One of these days, we'll get a website.
We will. But it ain't going to be today. So, anyways, let's talk some football, man, while we're getting into it. The big news of the week right now is obviously you had it with Tranquil Wright. Is that how you say his name? The Cleveland Browns tight end, former Ole Miss tight end, who caught the one of the last touchdowns in the Peach Bowl in last year's college football playoff. He decided that he wanted to return after a judge down in Louisiana gave them an extra fifth year of eligibility. He was released by the Browns, was able to come back, enter the transfer portal, and committed to LSU, which started a whole sling. There was about 17 players that received this fifth year eligibility that went outside of the NCAA's jurisdiction. It seems like, as we've talked about and numerous other people have talked about, we're going to start really getting into a slippery slope here of the NCAA not being able to truly regulate what they're trying to do and enforce the rules on their league. And then you've had some other players, not other players, other conferences, such as the Big Ten and the SEC, who are the two biggest ones in college football, have come out and they've banned their programs from basically bringing on pro athletes. They've even gone to the extent of not only NFL athletes, if they've gone to the CFL, if they've gone to the G League, the NBA, the WNBA, all of those other things. They are not letting any athletes of any sport. They're not just stopping at football. They're going through. And the SEC came down pretty hard here today. And here's some of the finalized punishments for any program that tries to roster a player who previously signed a pro contract and or declared and didn't formally withdraw. Basically, NFL, NBA, G League, those leagues, right? So one of the first punishments is a half-season suspension for the head coach. Then you're going to have the SEC voting privileges revoked on business matters for schools in violation of the rule. A hefty fine of 50% of that annual sports operating budget. Can you imagine if your football program loses half of its operating budget? That ain't good. And then also the league retains the rights to levy other penalties by Greg Stanky and or SEC presidents / chancellors if necessary. So, Emilio, what do you think about this?
I think it's a good sign that right away these conferences came up and decided that they would take care of business and handle this, kind of nip it in the butt, because like you mentioned, this could be a very, very slippery slope very quickly. And I think it's important because I think if you wait on the NCAA to try to fix anything, it's kind of like the government. It's going to take, 6 to 5 business years. So I like that the conference went ahead and just took care of this. I get it. I mean, you went through the draft, you didn't get drafted. Maybe you're an undrafted guy. Maybe you got drafted late and you're not real sure that you're going to make the team. That's, I get the situation, but also it's unfair. So it's just easier to knock it out of the way. I think, there's other avenues that they can go if they don't make the NFL roster. You can go to the absolutely magnificent USFL. I mean, there's other options out there for them. And I think it just keeps the college game a little bit more pure in this day and age where it's gotten a little sideways, especially with a lack of rules in place. And to me, I think this is just another indication of how unprepared the NCAA was whenever, the NIL started. And it's kind of their MO now that they, it's just fly by the seat of their pants operation. And this is the type of stuff that pops up when you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. It's wild how quickly all of this has really evolved in college football mainly. And you've seen it in other sports a little bit, but obviously college football is what carries all of these universities with their budgets and things like that. But the slippery slope of getting into NIL, and then now are they're employees that aren't technically employees because they're getting paid, right? But they're not employees. So they still hold the amateur status, but they're not amateurs. And so I'm very curious to see the potential lawsuits that can come out of this as well. I don't know if the conferences themselves, with coming out with these, I guess they can. They may be able to protect themselves from lawsuits. I don't know if they go out and put these punishments without talking to maybe their lawyers and saying, hey, can we do this and hold our universities to it? Because they're not necessarily punishing one player. They're punishing the university itself, which is going to put a big deal on it, right? Obviously, the biggest thing is, you lose your head coach for half a season. Okay, yeah, that's a big deal. But then if you're losing 50% of your operating budget, that's actual dollars that we're talking about on the board now. And that's a big deal. And it's going to keep people from doing it. Lane Kiffin is down there in Baton Rouge just kicking, punching the air right now, just going crazy. But it's really interesting. And I think the rumblings that I've heard about the potential of maybe the SEC and Big Ten getting together and starting their own league, I think some of this may grow some of that talk to where they go start their own league, invite a few other teams that may be beneficial, and then they're like, hey, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to become our own, whether you call it a college football thing or you call it a semi-pro league or whatever it is. And we'll make our complete own rules, so we don't have to worry about a judge coming in and trying to rule against us in this way or that way or anything like that. So I don't know if you've heard of those rumors. I hope they're not true, because I think the more that we do that, I don't know. Will we ever get back to the old college football that we grew up with? Probably not.
Probably
and it's
not.
sad, but it's sad. But I don't want to see. Maybe it's just changed to me, and I guess nothing ever stays the same, right? But the NCAA has been around for a long time, and they've done a lot of bad, dumb things too. Don't get me wrong, but it's a weird thing for sure.
No, I mean, it's definitely changed, and I don't think it's ever going back. Once you start getting money involved and they find out that there's money in it, you're never going to go back. But there's certainly a way that they could have put some guardrails on it to begin with and had that established to where it wouldn't be so dissolved from what it used to be. Mm-hmm. And now you're playing catch up and trying to figure it out after the fact. And maybe this was the better option on the table. I don't see it, but I think at some point they will get a better handle on it and it'll be a little bit more organized, but they are, still a pretty long ways out from that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Well, I don't know. Let us know what y'all think. I think most of our people agree. We put out a poll about this yesterday, and I forgot to check it today, but it was a resounding no on if players should be allowed to come back in. Let me see here.
I bet those Texas Tech fans are happy, though.
They are. Why don't you give us the news on that?
Yeah, Texas Tech picked up Tommy Castellanos. For those of you who don't know who that is, he was a quarterback for Boston College, famously known for his dual threat ability, smaller guy, a little undersized, but could run around and throw the football. Very talented guys, and Texas Tech has agreed to pick him up. He had tried out for the Dolphins, went through rookie minicamp, did not make the active roster, didn't get an invite to real training camp, and some judge in Kentucky granted him, I don't know what they call that, some legalese. They granted him a pass basically for this year. So Texas Tech found a quarterback. I don't think he'll be ready by week 1, but somewhere between week 3, week 4, maybe you will see Tommy out on the field. And he's electric. So I'm a little bit excited about that, but it's also, if BYU gets bounced because Texas Tech found a dual threat quarterback that tried out for a rookie minicamp, I'm going to be real pissed.
Yeah. You know what? I feel bad for the kids too, and I didn't say this, about the kids that are on the rosters that maybe they were made promises. And I'm not saying anybody in particular. There's no example out there of a kid being made a promise, but they worked their tail off during the off season. They did all their workouts, everything like that, to think they're going to get their playing time. And then you can have somebody who was in the NFL come back and, try to redo their draft stock or whatever because they weren't allowed. And those kids are the ones that would be screwed at that instance, right? So it'd be interesting to see if some of the other conferences follow suit. Will, what does a Pac-12 or a MAC or something like that? You think if they can get a couple of them NFL guys come back and get suited up, I mean, why not, right?
Absolutely. I mean, those guys probably feel like they're already playing at a disadvantage. So anything to get them closer to the edge, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. And I hate to fully, I know I said Lane Kiffin was kicking the air and hitting the air. He came out and he nipped it in the butt right away on his side, and he had it pre-planned, obviously, and said, hey, we're just doing what any other school would be doing in this instance or is doing right now. We're trying to field the best football team. If there's a player out there that can make us better, we're going to go get them just like anybody. So it's just easy to put LSU and Lane Kiffin under the microscope because their whole team is a bunch of transfers, right? So, anyways, yep. Anyway, so let us know what you think about that, guys. That's something that's not going to go away. I have a feeling that we're going to see that ugly face rear up from a time or two. So, anyways, but yeah, let's see here. Let's remind the folks of our college football picks while we're waiting here.
You got it.
Our playoff picks. So go down your list that you got there.
So my 1 seed is Georgia. For obvious reasons. Then I got Indiana, Notre Dame, Miami, Brigham Young University, Texas, Oregon, LSU, Iowa, Texas A&M, Texas State, and James Madison. Those are my top 12.
There you go.
As of today.
I had number 1, Notre Dame. Number 2, Oregon. Number 3, Miami. Number 4, Georgia. Number 5, Tech. Number 6, I had Ohio State. Number 7, Indiana. Number 8, OU. Number 9, USC. Number 10, A&M. Number 11, Boise State. Number 12, UTSA. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I've been seeing a lot of traction being gained on this Notre Dame going undefeated and Notre Dame actually potentially being the best team in the country.
There has been a lot of people in our comments, a lot of Notre Dame fans in our comments that have been saying, you should see the talent that they've got back that they kept. They were already the most talented team to begin with.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that they were the most talented team to begin with. I got to pull up all the things now, but there has been a lot of traction, and I want to tell you the traction that I have because I had them out and you had them out. But the traction that I've got is I don't know if Texas, how good they're truly going to be this year, man. I really don't know.
I've been seeing a lot of hype around that program as well. There's I don't know. I mean, obviously this is all preliminary. This is all make believe. At some point they got to come out on the field and we'll get a better grasp of what is and what isn't. But from the little clips that you see throughout, Instagram, social media, Texas is a wagon. Notre Dame is a wagon. Don't sleep on Ohio State, even though I am sleeping on Ohio State. And Miami is also a program that I think people are not given enough respect to, and I think they're going to be a very good football team.
I think Miami's going to be good as well, just because of the ACC. Their one big game is against Notre Dame. We'll see what happens there. I'll tell you some of these. So we got Robert Reese here that said Notre Dame gold and blue through and through here. With the amount of talent they have coming back, the transfer portal pickups, and the recent recruiting class and coaching staff it's national championship or bust. So they're big. They're big in it. Notre Dame and their fans are ready to roll. So coming in now, looks like we got Coach Miller that's getting on here.
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
And we're good. Coach, how are you today?
Good. My internet's a lot better. I'm at home, but for whatever reason, my camera doesn't want to work.
So. That's okay. That's all right, Coach. We can get through. We can get through with that. We appreciate you coming on tonight with us. How was the decal with the parents and everything?
Decal night was good. We had 100% show up parents. Everybody had a good time. Got a lot of pictures, and so yeah, it went really good. And they had. I found out tonight I need to do it every year because they had an open house right beforehand. So after about 20 minutes, they were just ready to go home. So it didn't take a long time.
Yes, sir. Well, good. It's glad to hear you had 100% participation. Excuse me. Yep. The excitement for the season. That's great. So. Well, it's been a couple weeks since we talked, Coach, and the season's finally here. After going through camp, your two scrimmages and everything, how excited are you and the team, I guess, to finally get to Friday night?
We are super excited, and it's like the scrimmages went way beyond the expectations. I was super proud of the way we played. So yeah, we're really cautious optimism around here this week, I guess is the best way to put it.
There you go. Well, what did you learn? Did you learn anything new from your team after that you maybe weren't expecting coming in after camp and these scrimmages?
We knew our defense was going to be good, but we scrimmaged Del Rito, and they're a 6A football team, and while they've struggled some lately, we played a half to end that thing, and I've never had a stat line like this in my life. They were 0 first downs and a minus 12 total yards in the first half the other night. Like we played the lights out on defense. They couldn't do anything. And I knew we were going to be pretty good, but man, if we play like that all year, we'll be good. And then I was worried about my young offensive linemen being physical and things like that. And it was obvious in the first two scrimmages that we were a lot stronger and a lot more physical than the two teams we played. So that made me feel really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like that defense is firing on really good cylinders right now, like you talked about.
Yeah, my middle linebacker could catch it all. He didn't have any interceptions, but he had 4 that hit him right in the hands.
Oh, no, Coach. Oh, no.
I'm like, bro, that's why you don't play offense.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Speaking of your middle linebacker, you had a quarterback competition, and he was a part of it, wasn't he, a little bit?
It was one of my outside linebackers.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yep.
There was 3 of them. We got it narrowed down a little bit. The one that plays outside linebacker, who's so important to us, he's going to be our short yardage guy. Like, he's the biggest, strongest of the kids. Mm-hmm. He understands the offense, and he understands the goal, what we were trying to do when we get in short yardage. So he's going to play that, and we're going to start the first couple of games with my junior and my sophomore. Probably going to rotate every play. I mean, it's made me feel real good in the scrimmage the other night to grab one of them. Neither one of them ever played varsity football, and tell them exactly what we want to see. Check to this. This is the formation, and then do it the next play because it's a different kid going in. And I thought both those guys played lights out on Thursday night.
That's awesome. So who are we rolling with week 1, Coach?
Play 1's going to be a kid named Ryan Zamora. He's a junior. And then play 2 is going to be sophomore Anthony Gatto. And I told him we're going to do that unless one of y'all gets hot, and then we'll stick with that guy. And they're good with it. Anthony's going to play a lot of defense. So, Ron will probably get a little more than him, but they're both – it's still too close to call.
That's awesome. Yeah. What you got, Amelia?
No, that's exciting. How are they between the two of them? Usually it can go one or two ways when you got a quarterback competition going, and they can support one another or they can get mad and pout about it. How's that been for you?
It's been really good. It's been really encouraging because, like, obviously they all want to be the guy, but they all want the other ones to be successful. And all 3 of them are team guys, right? Okay, Coach, if you think rotating us every play is going to help us win, we're down. So there's been all 3 of them are friends. They all get along. There's been no animosity toward them at all, and they support each other a ton. So, in fact, when one of them plays good, the other kids will say, "Man, Ryan played good today." So they've been real good about it.
That's great. That's awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, rolling into Friday night with Carrizo coming into town, I know they're a 3A team, you're a 4A team, but this is kind of a rivalry game, right? We're close communities here. What does it mean to have sort of that rivalry game, like kind of right out of the gates, and the opportunity for the atmosphere to be, rowdy. They're going to have a lot of fans that travel over here. We're going to have a lot of fans in the stands. What's a game like that mean week one?
So these are always fun, right? I mean, like the kids get up for them, you get up for them. It's helped us battle through the heat a little bit, knowing who we playing. And it's always a packed house, and it's always a good game. I know my first year here, they went 10-0 that year, and they just absolutely beat the dog out of us. We've been lucky enough to win the last 3, but I think 7 points has been the biggest margin of victory. They're going to play hard. We're going to play hard. And for whatever reason, this rivalry there's very rarely extracurriculars or things like that. Like sometimes when we play Somerset or Hondo, we'll get into running our mouth and things like that. But this is just a good, clean, fun game. And the kids enjoy it, right? And I don't know. Carrizo has a really talented sophomore class, but I've never seen a team with 16 sophomores on their varsity, and that's what they have on their roster. So
wow,
it's going to be – I'm interested to see how they react, right, to a full Honey Bowl on Friday night being their first varsity experience.
100%. That's going to be tough. And looking at that with those 16, what do you think is the biggest challenge that they present, and what are y'all going to have to do well to combat that?
Well, defensively, and they do this every year. They're first of all, they're really tough and they're well coached, but they jump in and out of fronts all the time, And as a guy that coached O-line for 20-something years, if I know where you're going to be, I can teach my guys to block you. And here we are with these young guys, and we covered 4 different fronts in practice this week. So, but if we can figure it out, and they did well this week, if we can figure that out, we'll move the ball on them some. And then they run that slot T offense, and if you don't read your guards and read your keys, you're going to be running in circles. My DC calls it chasing ghosts, right? So as long as we need to read our keys, and then we need to be able to figure out where they're lined up front. If we do that, we'll be all right.
That's awesome. Obviously, a win is what we're looking for. Is there something outside of just the scoreboard that you would consider successful for week one, a week one performance?
First of all, obviously, we want to score more points than they do.
Yep.
But I want to see us continue to progress because, like, we played really good in the scrimmage against McCollum, but we played better against Del Rio. And I've got a lot of young guys, too, that have never played on varsity. And, it's the first game for them as well. And I want to see us get a little bit better this week. And if we do that each week going into district, there's potential with that defense. We could be pretty salty.
Yeah. What you got, Emilio?
No, I mean, after your scrimmages, Coach, is there anybody that, you mentioned some of your younger guys the first time we talked to you, but is there anybody that you have on a fan watch that the fans should be looking out for?
Man, we had a junior tight end. He was on the JV last year. His name is Samuel Graham, plays outside linebacker and tight end. And Sam had the best 2 scrimmages of pretty much anybody we had. He tore his bicep on the 3rd play of the 2nd scrimmage and didn't tell a soul. Finished the scrimmage. So he's out for a significant amount of time. Man, Sam was really playing good, and I was really happy for him. But, I think you're going to see a lot from those running backs that we've got. Cord Williamson's a senior, and Carlos Contreras is a sophomore, and a kid named Andrew Martinez, who actually in junior high moved here from Saba now. He's a really good football player too. Those 3 guys, just get on the ball and give them a crease, and I think those guys are going to make a big difference this year.
Yeah. Well, good. Man, we kind of went through some of our questions quick, Coach. How's y'all are fired up. We're fired up. I think we're going to try to get into at least I am, into the stands. I know my kids are fired up, anticipating a packed out Honey Bowl, it sounds like.
We're excited. Friday, right? Emilio, my wife's sitting right here next to me. She was at that game in Charlotte that night. I'm just going to throw that out. She's
Coach,
laughing in the corner.
Coach, I want to tell you, we've done a couple of local spotlights, and I brought that up every time. And this last time, he was just kind of staring at me like, "Are you going to continue to bring this up?" And
I promise I won't bring it up again. But with her sitting here, I had to say something.
It's unfortunate because that when we talked about that, that's the part that didn't get uploaded, and I had to tell people like, "Man, we had this great part at the end that was hilarious, and everybody missed out on it." So, anyways, it's been a lot of fun.
That, Coach.
I'll tell you what, you were there. That was a great football game that night, right? Like that was a classic old school 1A football game. It was a great game.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of defense that night. I think we were in the 50s for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say the score literally was like 46-43 or something like that. It was a shootout.
Yeah.
Y'all
That's
had
awesome.
Y'all had a running back that was very, very talented. That's one thing I do remember.
Yeah,
Trying to take him down.
his name was DeBray Bonner, and that kid had lived in Refugio. And I was up at the field house at Woodsboro. I'd been there about 2 months, and this big man walks in. He says, "Hey, coach, my name is DeBray. So we rented a house over here. We're going to be going to school here in the fall." And I was like, "First of all, you got to take me to your house. I'll make sure you live here. And second of all, how old are you?" He's like 17. And I was like, "Come on, bro." I mean, but it turned out, and man, one of the hardest working, nicest kids I've ever coached. But man, he was a really good football player.
That's awesome.
He would have been a good running back at any A. But
Yeah.
in 1A, there people bouncing off of him like bugs on a windshield. It made me look like I knew what I was doing, right?
That coach, everybody can use one of those. I mean, that's just, that's awesome. So, well, we don't want to keep you too much longer. What, I guess just to kind of finish it up, what message do you have to the Coyote fans? Hopefully we get a packed one. What do you got any message for them come Friday night?
Man, come support these guys. I mean, I've not had a group in 30 plus years that have put in more work between one football season and the next. They're going to play hard. They're going to represent your community with class. And, we're going to have it. We're going to be in every ball game. So, man, they're going to be fun to watch. Come watch these guys.
Yeah, we're excited. Well, Coach, we greatly appreciate you joining with us, just even if it was just a few short minutes. Hopefully we can get you back on in quick spurts throughout the season, and we'll be there supporting you Friday, and hopefully come out with a W. So
thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for all you do for sports around here. I can't believe the amount of my kids that want to know why I didn't mention them last time I was on with you guys. So they're watching. So
that's good, Coach. Well, we just support the local and support the youth and all that kind of stuff. So we're here for that. Anyways, thanks, Coach. We appreciate you very much.
All right, thanks, guys. Y'all have a
You too. See you. Well, awesome. That was cool. That was Coach Miller there. Go support the Coyotes. We wish the best for them. We had our other local spotlights come on here. Coach Templin and Hondo, they're playing. Who'd you say they were playing this weekend, Emilio?
I didn't.
You didn't. Who you had? Knippa and Sabinal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Knippa is taking on Lone, and that is a neutral site game. They're in Rock Springs, Texas, of all places.
Wow.
And then Sabinal's got Dilly, and that's an away game for them, so that'll be a good one. The Jackets have been making some noise in their scrimmages as well. I think a lot of people around here are getting pretty excited about what this team can be.
Yep. I think so. I've heard the same thing as well. Hondo's going to be taking on Ingram in Hondo this week, so I know they're excited about that. I've heard some good things from the Hondo folks. That'll be a lot of fun. We talked about Robstown as well. The Cotton Pickers down there and Coach Travis Crowley, they're going to be taking on. I had it right here and I lost it. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. We should have made this a little more put in front of. They got Bishop. I think Bishop's a pretty tough matchup there. And then Coach Yeager over in Bracketville. If you hear this, Coach, we support you too. We'll get you on as well. They got Ozona. So
there you go.
Yeah, Ozona's always been a pretty good tough ball club out there. So make sure you support your local sports. I mean, it's not uncool, but I think we may get out there and be able to check out the Coyotes this week. So
yeah, I think one thing, we haven't talked to Bracketville yet, but Bracketville's always done a really good job, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, of their out of district competition. They go out and they play some big schools, some very talented schools. So kudos to them for getting their guys ready early on.
100%. Well, it's easy. You could go play. I mean, I don't know Bracketville. I mean, it's kind of hard to. Who are you going to play around here? It's like going and playing Dilly, play up a classification and go get your guys ready and see what happens, or travel a little bit and go do it. There's no reason to go try to, schedule like a 6-man team like Knippa or something like that. But yeah, or Lakey. I didn't mean to say Knippa, but I mean, it wouldn't be fair either way because they're playing 6-man versus 11-man. It's not the same. So yeah. Brackett's got Ozona, El Dorado, New Home, Falls City. I mean, they're getting some teams on there. Those are some. If you don't know class, 1A football, it's 2A now, but to me, it's 1A. those are pretty good ball clubs.
Yeah.
Traditionally, they're not bad. So, and then they start with them Jackets in Sabinal.
Oof.
So, for district play, better watch it. I think people are overlooking them Jackets a little bit there. So, but good luck to all our folks, Coach Templin, Coach Miller, Coach Navarro, Coach Steitler, Crowley, Yeager, and there's many of you out there that potentially come on, but good luck to all y'all. We do wish y'all the best. So anyways, let's get back into some college football. Let's talk about week 0, and we're here. We're in it. We're going to play that intro right back. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that, but we're excited. Are you excited, Emilio? You want to talk about some college football?
Absolutely, I do.
Don't change the channel now just because we got done with the Coach Miller. Maybe I should put the Coach Miller interview at the end. I'm just kidding. They're not going to do that. But anyways, I can see when the drop-off happens, guys. We're watching you. So let's get in here. So the first game that we've got happening in Dublin, Ireland, TCU versus North Carolina, the rematch from last year, Emilio. It is a neutral site game. 11 o'clock start for us here. It's going to be on ESPN. You got TCU favored by 9.5 points. The over-under is 46.5, and the money line is on North Carolina plus 285. What do you think about this game?
This one is I don't know. This is one of those games that to me at the start of the season, there is no clear favorite. I know what the statistics say. I know what the numbers say, what Vegas says. I don't buy into any of it. I think a lot of us last year were fooled by the false gold that North Carolina sold us early on, and I think that's another situation here. I think TCU has a good football team. I think obviously they have a lot of improvements they need to do this year, but I don't know about this game. This one's a kind of a toss-up for me. I wouldn't be surprised if it went either direction, but if you're asking me, I'm thinking TCU is probably the better team, and I think North Carolina, they just have so much noise that is not positive football noise, which I don't think anybody could have suspected coming from Bill Belichick because he was a no-nonsense guy in the NFL, and it seems like it's been nothing but childish stuff since he got to the college level.
Not so fast, my friend. Dun, 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 dun. I've got a Sendero lock of the week, and I've got a Brewster Bird Hunts. You are being hunted this week. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you some facts first.
All right.
But I'm going to lay both of those on you here in a second. So, basically, most likely the loser of this game, in Ireland, is going to lose a little bit of momentum here, their mojo or whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
So, out of the last 4 losers, the 2022 Nebraska Cornhuskers, the 23 Navy Midshipmen, 24 Florida State Cinnamon Rolls, and then last year's Kansas State Wildcats. None of them have finished the season with a better record than 6-6.
Yeah, after you said that, I started thinking about it, and the first one that came to mind was that Florida State team. They were ranked in the top 10 when they took that.
Yep.
When they took that trip to Ireland, and they ended up going on quite the landslide.
Yes, they did. So that's something to look at there. 5 of the last 6 games in Ireland were decided by 3 points or fewer. So remember that 9.5 was the spread, 3 points or fewer. And then basically here, both of these teams after this, they have tune-up games. So one of these teams is going to be 2-0 after the second week. North Carolina is going to get East Tennessee State. TCU is going to host Grambling State. So there's a lot on the line here for both of these teams to start off the season strong. I have my lock of the week. North Carolina, plus 285 on the money line. Take it. Take it. You're going to get it's minus 118, I think, if you take the 9.5 points. So you're going to have to put more money in to win something. Take the money line. I'm telling you, take the money line. Take it.
A lot of confidence in the Tar Heels out of nowhere.
Take it. I rolled with them last year, and they made me look dumb. I don't think Bill's going to do it this year. Even though, interesting fact, since Bill won his last Super Bowl, he's got an overall coaching record of 45-50.
Wow.
That's not good. But stay with me here. UNC, they've rebuilt their offense, right? They went out and got Bobby Petrino, new offensive coordinator. Arkansas last year under Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator / head coach, they were ranked 13th in the nation for total offense and 7th in yards per play last year. North Carolina in yards per play was 120th. They almost averaged half of the yards per play that Arkansas did. Excuse me. They went out and they got Billy Edwards, transfer. They got him. They got him a slew full of weapons. I think the defense is a little better than they were given credit for, and their offensive line is full of veteran players. They have a lot of experience on there. So I think the trenches is going to be a really good game this season for North Carolina. Now, I'm not saying that North Carolina is going to go compete for an ACC championship. We're just talking about TCU in Ireland, in Dublin, week 1, right? So this is a team that can only improve. They only averaged 289 yards per game last year. They gave up 336 yards per game. That defense was on the field a ton. They can never get anything going. TCU also lost Kendall Browse to South Carolina, but their defense does have a lot of returning players. And I'm going to go with my good friend Tom Hoagie, PGA golfer, and just said they have too many Baylor offensive coordinators on the team. I think it's time something. We're Team GP, Gary
Team
Patterson.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So something's got to change up there in Fort Worth. So give me North Carolina 26, TCU 20.
26-20.
Mm-hmm. Low scoring game. So that means take the under.
Taking the under. Man, you're just full of the picks tonight. This is crazy. I can't believe the 180 you made on North Carolina.
So, yes, Brewster Bird Hunts, I did. I sat there and I looked at it, and shame on me for not looking at North Carolina harder. Shame on me. Maybe I'm wrong. But Brewster Bird Hunts upset of the week, TCU. So there it is. Sorry. Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna save my lock and my hunt for a little bit later down the segment. But I think in this one, my prediction for this one is going to be that TCU wins, and I'm going to say they win 35-14.
Oh, wow. Last year, folks, just so you know, TCU won the ballgame 48-14.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen again to Bill Belichick. I think he got embarrassed at home in front of Michael Jordan in the world. And I think he's ready for revenge. So,
Michael Jordan in the world.
Am I wrong? That's what happened.
The one thing that I always remember is you texted me after those first 2 drives and saying North Carolina national champions ?
I'm not proud of it, and I may not be proud of this pick on Sunday either, or Saturday after this game's over. But that's what I'm damn going with, okay? And I've just done the research. I dug in. For whatever reason, this TCU team just doesn't give me the buzz that they should. So
going with the Tar Heels. Okay.
Going with Tar Heels. So anyways, next game that we got, 2:30 Saturday. No, 2 o'clock, not 2:30, on NBC. San Jose traveling to number 14, the University of Southern California, and them Trojans. Yes, sir. Lincoln Riley's ready. They got USC favored by 39.5 points. Over under of 60.5, and there's no money line. They said, no, we don't want no money line. What do you think, Emilio?
I think USC covers. I think it's
the 39.5?
39.5 is a lot of points, but I think that USC has too much, and San Jose State, I mean, I've seen some of their games late at night when it's the last thing on TV, and they're never a good program. So I just see USC coming out, and if there's a team that needs to come out and make a loud statement early, and Lincoln Riley is kind of historically known for doing this, to really put a staple on it early, and he's not afraid of running up a score. Give me the Trojans to win by, I don't know, somewhere in the likes of 56-7, something like that.
Wow. I like it. Because I think USC is going to come out and make a statement too. I just don't know if it's that big. I do worry about the offensive timing Obviously, you lose Malachi Lemon, Jacoby Lane coming through there. You still do have Jaden Mavia, who's going to be a Heisman contender. He may not be a finalist, but I think he'll be in the running throughout the year. And they got to. There may be some timing things that they got to work out there. No better team, like you said, to work it out on than San Jose State. They have been San Jose State's been down. They lost a lot of players this past year. They weren't very good last year to begin with. I think they were a 3-9 ball club, something like that. USC also went out and probably made the best defensive coordinator hire in the nation, in Gary Patterson, like we just talked about, from the former TCU coach. So he's really going to work his tail off to get those guys in line of the missing link, the what USC has been missing. So I don't know. Looking back at it, last year, Lincoln Riley's team scored 73 points in their opener against Missouri State. The year before, 48 versus Utah State, 56 the year before that. And that was against San Jose State that year. And then they scored 66 against Rice the year before that. So 56, obviously they've already done it once. Emilio, you may not be off on that. So you're saying take the over, take the spread. That's what you're saying? I feel that's 39.5 points is a big spread. But if you want to win some money, that's where you're going to win the money. So
I feel confident that they'll cover that spread.
I'm going to roll with you. Cover the spread. If they cover the spread, you're going to get minus 105 odds there. And then if you take the over, you get plus 108. So, yeah, roll with it, man. I like it. Lincoln Riley's going to make a statement, baby. The Trojans are going to be rolling.
Boy, I'd hardly call this a statement. Let's get some real competition, Lane. Lincoln.
They're going to have four. They're going to have 4 games here coming up that are going to get them ready for that date they have with Oregon, week 5. So they're going to have a lot of practice on the offensive side of the ball there before they get going. So, anyways, North Carolina State traveling to Virginia to take on the Cavaliers. This was a game that was originally scheduled to be in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. Did I say it's not just Janeiro? It's Rio
de Janeiro.
De Janeiro, however you say it. That was originally scheduled to be down there. NC State moves into the ACC. Virginia Tech coming off a very disappointing loss in the ACC championship game last year to Duke, where they missed the shot at getting the college football playoffs. How wild and crazy that would have changed things up right there. Miami doesn't get in. Virginia's in. What happens there? Crazy to think about. You got Virginia favored by 4 points here. The over-under is 52.5, and the money line is North Carolina State plus 160. Go for it.
So this is my Sendero research lock of the week. I'm a little bit safer than you are. I'm not going out on a limb on this one because to me this is a pretty even matchup. I don't think that anybody with just regular basic football knowledge would say that either one of these teams is better than the other. So I'm going to go with Virginia on the money line, just straight up. Give me Virginia to win this game. I think those odds will still be pretty good because the spread's only 4. So those would be pretty good odds. And my biggest reason for that is none other than Bo Pribula. We misspoke. He's not at Missouri anymore.
He's not. We did. I was looking at that and I was like, holy cow, when did this happen? And they also got Holzen from Pitt as well. Yeah. They got 2 quarterbacks that transferred in here at Virginia.
So give me the Cavaliers to come out and make a statement early on. I think after I did a little bit more research, I believe in these Cavaliers to make a little bit of noise in the ACC. I think they're getting slept on a little bit. I think we slept on them. Bo Pribula is a dog, and I believe in him. And for that reason, he's my Sendero research lock of the week. Give me Virginia, money line. Take it to the bank.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, God.
Last year, North Carolina State played Virginia, and they had a shootout, and it was 35-31 in favor of the Wolfpack. Virginia coming off that ACC title game loss, what does it do to a team? Does it fuel you? Are there enough guys there still to light that fire? Or is it a forgotten about thing in the NIL era because it's a brand new team? More so than it ever was before. And those guys don't give a rat's ass about what happened last year. CJ Bailey's back for the Wolfpack. Last year against the Cavaliers, he was 16 of 23 for 200 yards and a touchdown through the air. And then he added another 44 rushing yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Dual threat quarterback. He's got some weapons with him this year. You mentioned Bo Privila playing for Virginia. I don't know. This one's going to be interesting. North Carolina's 6-1 all time versus Virginia too, Emilio. 6-1 all time.
Yeah, they hadn't seen Bo Pribula though. That's what I'm
I know. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. Give me NC State 28-23.
Give me Virginia 28-23.
Oh, wow. Just going to flip my score, huh?
Yeah.
Take the money line with North Carolina State.
I
Plus
think
285. Huh?
it's going to be a close game, I think. But
I lied to you. It's plus 160, but it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be the shootout. I think we may have some spurts where we see the offense come alive because Privila and Bailey are both dynamic playmakers. And, I say dynamic playmakers. They're both dual threat quarterbacks. And I think you're going to see them kind of go back and forth offensively for a short period of time in spurts, but you're not going to see the 60-point games there. So I would 28 plus 23 is, what are we sitting at there? 51. So take the under. Yeah, take the under in the money line. But your opinion,
Virginia
take the points. Take the points for Virginia and the money line. Okay. All right. We'll see. One of the bigger games of the day, and I talked about this earlier on a post I made. I said, who gives a damn about Jacksonville State and North Dakota State?
I do.
This podcast does.
Damn right.
Hell yeah, this podcast does. North Dakota State playing FBS football, baby. And we want to see it up there in the Fargo Dome. We want to see it. It's awesome. North Dakota State comes in favored by 7 points. The over-under is 46.5. Money line is Jacksonville State plus 210. What do you know about these teams?
All I know is that North Dakota State is a very, very established program. You don't have to worry about their kids transferring out. They are loyal to the state of North Dakota. If they are going to move, they're going to move to the next Dakota. And I trust this team. They're proven. And I think whenever you make that switch, I saw this with Sam Houston when they first made their switch to big boy football. A lot of teams slept on them. They ended up making a bowl game that year, and they were a very competitive team. And I think you're going to run into that with this North Dakota State team. You're going to have teams that sleep on them, thinking that they haven't played big-time football. These guys are for real. This is a real deal program. Everything that they do, I don't see it not translating. To me, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah. Maybe it should have been your Sendero lock of the week.
Well,
or your Brewster Bird hunts, Big Bird, baby. Lock them and knock them down.
Oh, I got a different one for that.
Uh-oh. Let me tell you, Jacksonville State's 2-1 all time against North Dakota State. So we're saying whoop-de-doo. This is the fourth time they'll play each other. They're 2-1. But the one time that North Dakota State beat Jacksonville State was in the 2015 FCS National Championship game, and they beat them 37-10. That tells me that they play ball when it matters the most. You can have the other two wins, right? I think with the backfield that the Bisons have with Barry Kanipu and then the quarterback in Cole Payton, those guys being gone, it is going to be a big, a big tax to potentially overhaul. But they, like you said, they don't have a lot of transfers to go out. They're able to grow their guys. They sit back there and develop is what I'm looking for here. they've got a really good offensive line. Some say it's maybe the best in the Mountain West, and they've got a really good defense. So I think that I think it's going to be interesting. They kind of got two different teams. I think Jacksonville State wants to go fast, and North Dakota State wants to go a little different. But I agree. I think this is one of the easier picks. I mean, I think it may be a 42-20 type game, North Dakota State. So I think it's close. I think it's close to first half, and then it pulls away second half.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to say North Dakota State 35-10.
35-10. Okay. Fair enough. Man, them Bison are coming out rumbling.
I'm excited for them to be in Big D1. That's an exciting program. I like that.
I agree. Anytime you've seen any of that broadcasted online, it's been a lot of fun, on television and anything. So Sacramento State traveling to Eastern Michigan here. We got Eastern Michigan favored by 10. The over-under is 50.5, and then money line is Sacramento State plus 295 that we got going on here.
I like that money line.
You like that money line?
Sacramento State is another. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. This is a good program. I don't know if anybody knows this, but probably potentially the best running back in the NFL this year played for Sacramento State.
Yep.
You know who that is?
Who?
Cam Scatterbo.
Uh-oh.
He started at Sacramento State. This is a very good football program. I don't know jack shit about Eastern Michigan, and I'm not interested in knowing anything about them. All I know is that Sacramento State's going to take care of business. I'm going to say it'll be a close game because I don't know a whole lot about that other team. I'm going to say 42-35. High score.
Yeah. I think Eastern Michigan's going to do it just looking at what Sacramento State had to deal with. They had a winning record last year, 7-5. They did lose a lot of key players in key positions. I think this is one where, Eastern Michigan, they got a pretty easy schedule. We talked about San Jose State a second ago with USC. That's who Eastern Michigan plays next. They've got a lot of games here. Yeah, I don't see enough out of Sacramento State with what they've lost. I would say that, they have a terrible run defense too. I think I saw they allowed over 200 rushing yards per game, which was like the worst in the nation. It was like
that ain't too good.
No, it was like 235 yards a game or something like that. I do not foresee Sacramento State being a formidable. I think it's a little closer. I think maybe that 10 right there is a pretty good number. Would probably take what I say the over-under was 53.5.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be under, and it's probably going to be like an 11-point game. So say 31-20 or something like that is what I would say. Eastern Michigan. So
I like it.
We should have ranked these games as far as like at a 5 stars watchability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is
like that one for me. They may all be 5s because they're week 0. You know what I mean? And you're only going to get so many. But this one, if it got a true ranking, it'd be like a 2, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Don't waste your time with this one. This is what we're trying to say.
Yeah. It's a 5:30 game, and you'll still have North Dakota State on, and then right after, in the sneaky window, a game that you used to have to stay up until 10, 11 o'clock at night to watch, maybe even midnight. You got Stanford.
Oh, and
bringing over the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii coming over to California. 6 o'clock game, ACC network. Stanford's favored by 4 points. You got an over under 48.5, and your money line's Hawaii plus 160. I know you know too much about both of these teams, so tell me.
This is one, if I'm a betting man, I'm staying away from this game. I don't like anything about it. Neither one of these teams have been glaringly good. They have historic programs where, some of the most legendary players ever have come from these programs and they had exciting times. These aren't those times anymore. They're both kind of miserable to watch. Stanford has, as of late, just found crazy and interesting ways to lose games, and Hawaii, they never really played defense, but all of a sudden they stopped scoring points like they used to. So I'm not betting on this one. This is kind of a toss-up for me. I like the strides that Stanford has been taking. I don't think this is a very, very proud and historic program. Not to say that Hawaii is not, but I think Andrew Luck is finally putting his fingerprints all over it, and I think this is the year where they start to make a turn for the better. So I'm going to say Stanford wins this game. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to say something around. Geez, I don't even want to put a score on this one. I'm going to say 28-21, something like that. And it's going to be a very lackluster game. And unless you're a fan of either one of those schools, that's probably the only people on earth that are going to be excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interested to see the product that Andrew Luck puts on the field. Yeah, I think they have gone about it. And Andrew looks very technical in what he does, and he's a nerd and all that kind of stuff. And just being able to hear the commentary and different things that he's talked about with the program and how you do build a college football program like that has been pretty interesting. This is the third time in the last 4 years that Stanford has opened the season with Hawaii, vice versa. It's the first time they get them at home, though, too. So they got Miami next, and then they got Duke after this.
Oof.
I think they're going to really want to tune up this game. Hopefully they're not looking ahead. Hawaii hasn't had a road win over a power conference program since 1992.
Jeez.
To open the season. So that was against Oregon. So I don't know much about Hawaii. I agree that those times about both of these teams have definitely passed. But for some reason, I think Stanford. I think Stanford may just be looking forward, and I think Hawaii may just pull out something out of their rear. And I don't know much about them. I very little. Give me Hawaii 27-24.
Okay.
Yep. Give me the Rainbow Warriors.
I had a suspicion you were going to go with the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
But it just
You
seems
trying to make a gay joke there? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can we say that on here? Oh yeah, we can. It's our podcast.
Can't be canceled if nobody hears it.
Nah. Oh geez. Here we go. On the hot seat, Mike Norvell starts his season in the Florida State Seminoles against New Mexico State. FSU's favored by 30.5. Over-under's 53.5. That should tell you something right there. And then money line is New Mexico State plus 2,000.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah.
This is going to be another kind of a walk in the park. Florida State absolutely should come out and roll them. I fully expect that. I think Mike knows that this is his last opportunity to coach this team. If you come out and you even make it remotely interesting, that's a problem. So I think Florida State comes out, puts a stamp on it early. What was the total? What was the
over under?
Yeah,
it was 53.5.
I like that number. Take Florida State to cover that.
I might go put like $5-10 on New Mexico State just in case Florida State pulls a. You know,
you can be retired.
I'm just saying. I might just put a little bit. Oh, Kelsey, just screw it. What is waste that on a energy drink at the damn gas station. You know what I mean? It scares me. And this is the thing when you look, I like looking at over-unders and what the spread is and stuff, because I have no idea how Vegas and these odd bettors, betting odds people get it right, but they are hardly ever that wrong, right? I mean, obviously they have all of the analytics that they can look at and the stats and the numbers they run. It scares me that you have a 30-point difference, but you're under 53. Florida State's not going to be that high-power offense this year. I think Mike Norvell is going to be out. I don't think Florida State's going to be that big of a difference. But I'm not worried about Florida State losing to New Mexico State. Not what I'm saying. I'm worried about the spread part here. Florida State's going to win. I don't know. Take the under, but say like 35-17 or something like that. Something weird. I just don't think Florida State really. Maybe I'm wrong. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. But I just, for some reason,
Florida State getting at least 40.
Okay.
That's where I'm hanging my hat. Florida State's going to score at least, I'm going to say 42. And are they the Lobos or the Aggies? Which one is that?
I think New Mexico is the Lobos and New Mexico State's the Aggies, I think. Yeah.
I'm counting on the Aggies getting, 14 points on the board. I think that's where my mind takes me, but I don't know. This might be one you shy away from.
Yeah, I think on a scale, we talk about the 5-star scale. This is a 1.5.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still gonna watch it, so I don't give a damn. I mean, I'm gonna be tuned into this one and that Hawaii Stanford. I'm gonna be tuned into all of them, to be honest with you. So we're throwing some burgers on the pit, and
it's been too long to not be.
It has been. I mean, they're all 5s this weekend. you have a very short selection, and they're all 5s. So, anyways, I give it a 10. Anyways, last game of the night, 9:00 start. UNLV against Memphis. UNLV is favored by 4.5 points. Dan Mullen and the boys. Over-under is 56.5. Money line is Memphis plus 154.
So this is my Brewster Bird Hunts going hunting. I've got UNLV on upset alert.
Ooh.
And a lot of people are going to say, hey, dumbass, Memphis lost everything last year. They lost their coach. They lost 44% of their offense. They lost 33% of their defense. But what they're not counting on is Coach Huff brought a bunch of his guys over from Southern Miss. And not that Southern Miss was a powerhouse, but it's guys that he's familiar with. I think that Memphis might be slept on a little bit. And what I'm really, really banking on is just a classic case of Dan Mullen football. If there's anybody that will find a way to upset a team that I think has high expectations this year, I think if you ask a UNLV fan, there is a strong belief that this squad can and should be in contention for one of those playoff spots. But Dan Mullen just finds a way. If there's one thing I know about him, he finds a way to screw things up when it comes to this. So with all that being said, it's my Brewster Bird Hunts, hunt of the week. But hold your ammo because UNLV is going to win this game.
Wow.
We're just tracking it. We're just spotting it. We don't like the distance. We don't like the angle. Maybe that bird stops on a power line, and that power line's UNLV.
Okay. That's fair enough. This is the first time both these teams played. This is the furthest west Memphis has traveled for a game since they played USC in 1991. That's wild, is it not?
That's pretty wild. Especially this day and age.
Yeah, this day and age. Vegas is pretty far west. UNLV's got a new quarterback from Auburn and Jackson Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
He's come over. They've got a pretty loaded running back rotation. They don't really have to start throwing the ball to win this game. They've got a powerful run attack. They're trying to be the running rebels of the past, right? Their defense isn't that spectacular. They're kind of like just be good enough to get them past. It's this one's a tough one. I saw a quote, and I was looking at it, and I don't know if I believe in Memphis all that much because of the things that you mentioned. And I saw a quote that said, "It's Vegas, the house always wins." So I think I'm going to go with UNLV. I think it is going to be closer. 5 to 7 point game, somewhere in there.
I agree.
So UNLV 31, say Memphis, I don't know,
24.
24, sure. There you go. 31-24, UNLV.
Yep.
So.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be an interesting game, but I do like the Running Rebels at the end of the day.
Yeah. This is going to be this is really going to be a big step for the Rebels. So they're one of the few teams that didn't move out of the Mountain West to the Pac-12. So this Mountain West for them is kind of wide open. And if they really want to make a run towards the college football playoffs, beating teams like Memphis is a way for them to take that step.
Yep.
So I think they made a mistake in not moving on, but that's just the way it goes. So anyways. All right. Perfect. There we go. Week 0. Picks, predictions. Yep. Picks, predictions. We talked about Coach Miller and the Coyotes. We talked about the other local ones. Emilio's got the football helmet on. We picked them all. We hope that you have a great Saturday. We hope that you are with your family and that you roast some barbecue, do something. Drink a adult beverage if you're of age. Any of our gambling advice that we gave, use it or don't use it. 1-800-GAMBLING is the hotline. So check it out.
There is absolutely zero recourse for any bets you make and lose on.
1,000%. And this was the intro. We appreciate you guys. Go follow us. Go like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. But this has been another episode, and we greatly appreciate it. We can't wait to come back and recap this stuff on Sunday, and then come back a week from now and talk about week 1 and the real stuff. We hadn't even talked about Cowboys football either, baby. We hadn't even talked about Cowboys football and all the damn things the Cowboys win in the Super Bowl. Here's the outro. We thank you guys. Let's get it.
This is more about others than it is yourself. What buys long-lasting purpose is you understanding selflessness.
Strap them up.
Being about something bigger than yourself. And tonight, I submit to you that there's some family that drove from I don't know where, parked 5 miles out away from this stadium, and they saved all freaking year long just to buy a ticket to climb to the top of that stadium and watch your tail play. You owe them something. Right now. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives.
Jesus is the light, he's the way, and he's the path, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you next time. Peace.